Hey everyone, welcome back to Flip Flappers. This is episode 7, 8, and 9. Yep, over the week we had, Thanksgiving, so that kind of got in the way of a lot of things for most of us. So yeah, these 3 episodes are, again, like this guy has mentioned before, but he's here with me if you want to say hey.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, each episode, again, obviously, is always different, which is why I think this show is unique, when a lot of shows would just do the same plot every week. This one's doing something different every single episode, I would say.
Well, there's a through line going through the episodes, and that's pure illusion. But what they, instead of saying pure illusion is like the same war that they have to fight over and over again, or who knows when it's going to be over. The rules of pure illusion are that it can be anything it wants to be. So therefore you keep some stability, and it gives you enough room to be creative.
Right, definitely. And we're going to jump right into episode 7. I guess Paprika and Coconut are noticing that Irona, which is the artist, senpai, whatever, is acting a little weird, up to the point where she's throwing away her paintings. And Coconut is kind of concerned, because the whole room, they go into the classroom or the art room, and all the paintings are gone, everything's missing, and they think what they did last week in episode 6, going through the big red portal, when they explored her memories with her grandma, may have upset things, and may have altered her, I guess, personality somewhat by doing what they did. So, and they do ask the scientist guy, I forget his name, they do ask him about if they do things in the pure illusion, does it affect the real world? He's like, he kind of gives he kind of basically says, yeah, it sort of does sometimes, or it depends. He kind of gives him a vague answer.
It's.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's not an exact science when you get right down to it. Why do you think I'm a mad scientist?
Right.
It's one of those things to where it's like, in the real world we know that if you drop a ball, it'll go to the ground at 10 meters per second squared. I mean, it'll fall according to gravity.
Mm-hmm.
So if something happens in pure illusion, it's going to affect the real world. How? Well, that's the mystery. That's the thing you have to investigate and find out and discover how it affects it. So,
right.
with
Go ahead.
With Iroha, my feeling is that all those paintings she had memories attached to, and now since she no longer has those memories, she no longer feels it's just necessary. There are 2 ways of looking at that. One, it's kind of tragic, and the other, it's almost like a house cleaning. It's like, well, out with this old stuff. I don't need it anymore. I got to make room for I got to make room for new things and new memories.
Or maybe with them doing what they did with the grandma, kind of because they kind of almost like they unlocked something in her head that maybe she forgot. So maybe bringing up those old memories, stir up a little emotional and stuff inside of her. And again, like you said, maybe she just wanted to move on from that. I mean, that's what it certainly would look like when grandma figured out who they were. Like the room lit with color, and it was all bright. So it's almost like it was locked away, and now she remembered it, and now she wants to get rid of that memory. Because like you said, maybe it brought up some painful memories, and she was like, well, I need to move on. So.
Yeah. Well, unnecessary. She doesn't seem like a person to dwell on painful memories too much.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I guess that's the main theme of the episode. They're trying to figure out if what they did in that world can affect the real world. And like I said, the scientist gives them a vague answer that yes, somewhat, sort of, but they don't really know. Even to them, they're still discovering what the pure illusion really is. And this episode also jumped into a new world where it's Coconut kind of exploring this world. It looks more like our world, her world, whatever. It's kind of everything's normal to her, but she's starting to notice a little difference. There's Paprika popping up in different versions of her. There's a bunch of different altered versions. People thought they were different, I guess, representations of her personality. I guess I was like that could be one way to look at it, but the ones that they showed they all acted weird. So I guess maybe that could be true.
They kind of all acted to a trope. Really, I mean, they really acted hardcore to a trope. So, I mean, there was at home, at Coconut's home, there was a little sister, and she was, very clingy. Wanted that older sister relationship going on.
Right.
When she goes to school, and there's I don't know if he's a bad boy. He's not a delinquent. She meets a delinquent later.
Right.
But the boy is definitely like, yeah, that's this conventional stuff ain't for me. It ain't for you either. Let's go do something fun.
Right. I mean, he could be because they wanted to leave the classroom, and Coconut kind of
And,
goes along with it.
yeah.
And then there's one of the
And
parks
then
that she meets. It's like a girl who also wants to break things. So she's
she
kind of
has like she has the drill hair. She's like the Ojo-sama, wearing a different school uniform, but she punches sandcastles.
Yeah, I have this this screenshot here. It's all a bunch of shots from the episode and different names. They all have different names. You know, there's like Papayo. There's all kinds of ones that they threw in there. There's even like a younger male version, which is like a little kid, and then there's like the high school girl. And then the one my favorite was the one
creepy girl, the one in the desk. She was awesome.
She was like, open the door, and then, you know.
But she was in the Pure Illusion office space.
She was. Yeah.
And then there was that weird twin tail girl that was in the photo booth that kept on saying boom or something like that. And then at a shrine there was a sporty one.
Right, a sporty young
boy. Sporty young boy and all that. And then she went to bed with a girl with devil horns.
Right,
devil horns and all that.
A lot of people like that one.
Wow.
And they had the Space Dandy one with the big pompadour haircut. You know, that was the other male guy.
Wanted Coconut to be a delinquent with him and all that.
Right,
so it was nothing but a parade of tropes. They were fun, but at that given point, she was thinking about she doesn't really know Paprika very well, and so who is this person? It's really unusual. You think after like 7-8 episodes or something like that, you think the main characters would really know each other really well, and that's one of the things I love about anime is that characters can be together for 12 episodes, and all of a sudden they turn around and go, "Who the heck are you?"
Right, definitely. That's one thing. So yeah, it does bring the question of that: were they different parts of her emotional stuff, or is it just like different versions of her, or maybe the versions that Coconut thought? So yeah, it's interesting seeing that just them take the character and do all these different versions of her. And I do think it's the same voice actor doing all the parts. So
M-A-O, I can't remember now. I was watching the ED as I always do because I love that song, and it was just her name, and I was like, now I see what you're doing there.
Right, and then we, get a bit where I guess she finally figures out the real one eventually, which was, that the house that she has, a spaceship, apparently. I was like, this is, again, Flip Flappers does the thing you don't expect. I didn't expect the spaceship to be there, but it was.
Yep, it's what can we do that's fun? What can we do that's around the corner that's fun? It's unexpected, it's not typical, and, still keep that underlying theme of the, even though it's really weird, the show always manages to arrive at a point of pure joy.
Right. And then we get the extended episode at the end where there's a flashback where we finally get to see some little hint of Paprika's background, and even the glasses guy, whatever you call his name, Shuro, even he's in her flashback. He was kind of spying on him too, so it's like, how did he get to the Pure Illusion with them? I was wondering that too, like how did he get there? And then I started thinking maybe he's actually Paprika's dad and stuff like that, because we do see the first introduction of Mimi in this episode, which is throughout the other episode they mention her.
The idea of me.
Right, and I'm guessing she's like maybe Paprika's mom or something, because they do start showing a flashback where she's being pulled away by something, and Paprika and the other guy are kind of left behind. So I'm wondering if that's some kind of family relationship going on there between these three characters. It's kind of weird because he's in the flashback, so it's weird.
She would later say that Mimi is her partner. But I'm expecting that's an easy one. That's a bluff. That's a dodge. It's something else.
She was on that Coconut at her face and said Mimi, and she's like, wait, like who's that? Like that's kind of it was very odd when they brought that up. But yeah.
Maybe it's that one mysterious girl in that boat with no eyes.
A lot of people are saying that too.
Yeah, that could be it.
So yeah, I mean that's where the episode kind of ends on that. We reveal that there is a little bit more to Paprika than just a goofy character. She's got something that she's not really fully remembering, or maybe she forgot. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see how that goes with that. I mean, I like that kind of hint where there's a bigger story for that character.
Wow.
And I guess extras in the episode again, the Paprika's house turning into a spaceship was pretty interesting.
Yay.
And the different versions of Paprika, like I said, I think there's like from the younger, older. There's just guys, girls, all kinds of versions of her. The little sister made it a little weird.
There's a key to it. There is a key to it somehow. There's a key to the location and the personalities probably means something very, very deep to Kokona in a way. Because every character, she kind of almost got what she wanted, but at the same time she didn't. Right. You know, she wouldn't like to be lonely at home any longer. She'd like to have a little sister, but that little sister is going to be a little annoying. She'd like to have a boy that she likes at school, but he's going to be himself and not exactly... You know, she's going to upset her a little bit. The creepy girl is the creepy girl.
Right, and then you have
it's nice to have...
The one at the very end, the one with the horns, bring up the question of, like, do you love me?
Yeah, do you love me? Yes, I do. Do you love me? But only if you love me. It was almost as if it was conditional.
Right.
In a way. So it's...
And, it's like you said, the studio kind of hitting you over the head. Again, which is like, yes, we're trying to put it together, guys.
We're trying to. They've succeeded on numerous occasions, especially with Kokona looking outside the drapery with the rain going on outside. I'm like, wow, can you just slap me over the head with this? Thanks.
And her just saying that this is a fun world, she'd rather stay there.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, sure, I mean, why not?
I'm 13 and
that episode was interesting. It was more like a psychological episode, I guess. Just make you think about certain things, if that's personality traits and all that, I guess. But episode 8 is far different than anything I've seen. It almost brought me back to episode 3, the Mad Max episode, where it was just a reference episode. And that's pretty much episode 8 kind of is for me. It kind of give you the illusion that it's going to be a fan service episode, because this is the beach/pool episode with all the girls wearing swimsuits, and you think, oh, this is going to be the fan service episode.
So much butt. So much butt. Yeah. So much Mizugi in this episode, for crying out loud. They didn't spare...
Right, yeah, they didn't.
Not a single frame was spared, at least having some tush in it. I was like, wow.
Right, I mean, it's like they're just... they want to get it out of their system.
And in our system, apparently.
Right. And they even mentioned something about the little bracelet on Paprika's leg, which I'm like, I'm guessing that's just there to track her. It's like a tracker. You know, that's what I think it is. It's like a tracking device.
You gotta track Paprika.
Or it's the reason why she can't remember anything. Maybe they put something on her, she can't remember anything now. So you break that, and it's gonna remember everything. But anyways, the episode they're kind of in the pool, and they jump in the pool together, not knowing the robot was under there, trying to get a peek of everything, and they smash it, and they get sucked into... I won't reveal it later, but they get sucked into kind of the Boo-chan's world, I guess, the brain world, which is a very, I guess, Tron-inspired type thing, where they're in like this video game-looking world where all the buildings are like lit up with like neon and all this. At least to me, that's what it reminded me of. Like a Tron-based world. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, like random Neo Tokyo.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it kind of reminded of Akira, City of the Future, that sort of thing. Or everything is just dripping in 80s neon.
Or like
because neon means futuristic, apparently.
Right. Or go the other route where it's Neo Tokyo, whatever. You know, it's just a futuristic version of a city.
Yep. Tokyo 3.
Right. Exactly. And then when they get there, I thought it was funny. Paprika's kind of hungry, so she's ripping open this wall of cables and trying to eat the electrical cables. It's like, is this food? And Kokona's like, I wouldn't eat. She just bites it anyway. I thought it was funny. I thought she was gonna get electrocuted, but I was like, I guess they're not gonna do that. But it was just so funny. But when they get there, they find these monsters randomly pop up, like these birds, and they shoot laser beams. It was very strange, even for this show. But I was like, I guess there's a monster world maybe, because there's just all these birds fighting. And they obviously we had the other two with Yaika. They showed up and helped them, which has been a thing lately. Like they always show up and help them, even though they're their enemies. So it's kind of funny. And then there's that, they find someone that lives there, and you thought I was thinking, oh, he's just gonna be a normal guy. He's like 3 foot tall or something like that.
Well,
To the girls.
I don't know. I look at that and I go, why is this?
Right.
Why is this? But I mean, if you're going to have a world of Mad Max mutants, if you're going to have a world with multiple Paprikas, eventually you're going to go into a tiny mad scientist.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if you ever watch like Rick and Morty. It's kind of remind me of something like that. Where they get the world where they're the average size, but everyone else they're freaking huge compared to them. I don't know. So yeah, it was weird seeing that, but they kind of hit it off with him and they kind of help him because I guess later on there's a monster that shows up, so he needs their help. But yeah, Yayaka, this episode she's struggling with the idea of where does she draw the line between friends and foe. That comes up a lot in these 8 and 9. I guess 9 is the big episode, but this episode in particular, even the twins kind of question her about it, like, are you sure you don't? Why are you always helping them? It's our mission to take them out, but you always help them. So it's like she's having a hard time figuring out, what she's gonna do with that. If she's gonna help them or not help them.
Yep, Yayaka. Am I part of a greater purpose, or do I get to make my own choices?
Right. And with her being friends with the coconut, it's kind of hard for her to decide, do you want to fight or help.
Mm-hmm.
And they get to a part, I guess, where again the monster's attacking, which is, it's hard not to say it's in the giant Eva monster, berserk, whatever you want to call it, because it basically looks like an Eva to me. And this brings in the giant robots, which in this episode there's a lot of giant robots. I guess the scientist guy named Pops, what they call him, has this robot, and they have to use it to stop this giant monster. And it's very, I guess, reference to an old anime from the 80s called Supernova Flashman, which is, I guess, like a Super Sentai, basically Power Rangers for us here in the States. So it's one of those shows. So even the robot is the same from that old series. So that's like a huge reference, I guess. Even down to the final form they use is one from that old series as well. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah.
One of the directors is around about my age, and he loved those toys, so that's what you do.
Yep, and that was pretty cool because even follows the trope of you have this song playing in the background while the transformation / combining the robots happens. So I thought that was kind of neat. Maybe like a homage to the old series, or like you said, maybe he's just a fan of, the creator's a fan of the old school giant robots.
Mm-hmm.
Which was kind of neat. I mean, and then they were like inside of the robot's mind, I guess what you wrote here. It was like, it was kind of neat just seeing that play out. And then you obviously had to have Yayaka step in, and the third robot help them out as they all work together, which was kind of funny. And then Yayaka has to say flip-flapping, which I thought was pretty hilarious.
she wasn't on board with that at first, but that's one of those things.
I just like when she says it, and then Paprika's like, "What? I didn't hear you. Say it again." Like just rubbing it in. Yeah, I thought it was funny.
It's if you had to do something goofy to win $1 million, you better believe you do that goofy thing, but you're going to hesitate at first.
Right, yeah, that's true. And again, that just brings more questions to the twins, and they are going to report on that. They tell her that I have to obviously report what you did, and that's not it's sitting well with her either, because it's like you helped them win, but it's like if they didn't help them win, you guys would have all got killed.
Right, exactly. It was one of those things where you've got those hidebound sort of people to where it's like they absolutely have to stick to the rules no matter what, even if it means the end of the world. Which Yayaka has mean bosses. That's it. She has mean bosses.
And there's a shot where they're like in the space or whatever you want to call it, and you actually see the planet from below, and it's like a big brain, which obviously tells you that they're inside the robot. Then a lot of people have kind of mentioned that the man Pops whatever is a version of the scientist that's working with flip-floppers. That it's just a different version of him, or maybe that's the actual brain inside the robot.
There is the idea that way back when people were first starting to think about science and stuff like that, they had the idea of what was called the homunculus, which was the little person inside your brain that was in charge of your senses and your arms and different things like that. So that's what I'm thinking he is. He's an idealized homunculus form of Hideka. And the brain inside the little robot, the little wheelie robot, Buchan,
Right,
that's
yeah.
like a clone brain, I guess. That's my guess. That's my wild mass guessing thing.
Right.
That's his clone brain, because Boo is kind of like an extension of him that goes out there and does all that stuff. Because
Right.
I think they share a voice actor.
Yeah, they do. Even you go to like the style of his room, the scientist, his room's all messy. Even the shot is the same. The way they're at the computer desk is the same. So it's like they are part of the same person.
I was just remembering Paprika trying to eat a cable.
Right? Yeah. That was pretty funny watching her try that. It's like I don't know why she was just.
What is with her?
Right.
I mean, that was back in episode 2. So she was like, I think I'm going to chew on coconut. I wonder if she tastes good.
Right? Yeah. That was pretty funny.
Oh.
So yeah, that's pretty much the episode. They kind of had to work together, fight a monster, and save that world. But so yeah, some extra things again. Like it was like Tron meets Super Robots. It was pretty neat, and even the song thrown in to the transformation. I think it's the opening, just a different version of the opening.
It is.
Yeah.
I had to listen to it a couple times. It's just basically said, what happens if we wrote this OP in the 80s?
Yeah, pretty much. And it still works. And Yayaka kind of again switching the thought of switching teams, or having to help them more than usual, and it's not really sitting well with the people that she works with. They don't like that. She's gonna help them. It's like, no, we want you to take them out. And then we have the very, obviously the camera angles during this, with the graphic moments were kind of funny. Even the controls that the girls were using are very suggestive looking, but
holy anime.
Yeah, that's how anime works. That's throwing those visual elements.
We will give you very capable, very motive based, objective based female characters. We will also show off their tushes.
Right.
Thank you, anime. It's going to be a dying art form around the world here pretty soon, probably.
That and the whole they're stuck wearing swimsuits the entire time.
Yes.
Which
maybe
it's not too bad. I mean, at least they're one pieces. If they're two piece swimsuits, it'd be a little weird because given the camera angles they're using.
Yeah, it was school. It was school swimsuits.
Right.
Another fetish onto itself.
Mm-hmm. And episode 9 being again completely different. More about Yayaka. I think she's the center focus on that episode. I would say maybe Yayaka and Coconut, their past and how they met together, which was kind of interesting. And like you said here, we do meet the third amorphous child, which is she has short blue twin tail hair, which people are suggesting is Mimi. They think she's Mimi.
Too easy. Too easy. I'm still thinking the whole Mimi thing is way too easy.
Right.
It's something else. But we'll call her maybe Mimi for right now when you get right down to it.
Right. She didn't really say anything. She didn't really have any lines. So, but Yayaka kind of begged for another chance, and I guess they're like, okay, fine, one more chance. Which is always the thing I see. I can anime or anything like that. Like the villains are like, I failed 5 times. Give me one more time.
One more chance, just one more chance.
I'll get it this time. Like, no, you won't.
Well, here it makes me wonder exactly what Direct Drive, what hold they have over her. Like I mentioned earlier, they represent a greater whole that she's aspiring towards, but now she has her own choices that she wants to make. So it makes me wonder exactly what their viewpoint is.
Right, it does. But near the end, when you found out why she was doing what she was doing, it kind of makes you think that maybe Yayaka's been in this longer than we think. Maybe since she was born, maybe she's been stuck in this organization from the very beginning and doesn't know another way of life. She just knows this. So being told you're going to be replaced kind of doesn't sit well with her, I guess.
It kind of also opens up something about a meta plot, which I've been thinking about since like the first and second episode, and the fact that the real world that they occupy is another fantasy world, and Pure Illusion is the leftover bits of reality.
Right.
That's another wild mass guess of mine. And the amorphous are the leftover bits from that shattered reality, if you will.
Right. Yeah. I can see that. The real world being like another layer of the Pure Illusion. That's just there.
Another layer of the onion.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, Yayaka kind of gets a second chance, third chance, fourth, May 5th. I don't know how many times this is now. That
Well, hey, at the end of this particular mission of hers, she might have had her last chance, but we'll get to that.
right, and then we get cut to like Paprika at school, which is a funny moment where she's eating this rice ball with a hamburger, French fries, broccoli, carrot. Anything you can think of is probably shoved in that rice ball. And I was like, I don't think that works like that, but sure, why not?
She deliberately said it was the hamburger plate set that so many characters get when they get to family restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the sizzling beef patty with the onion gravy, and it even has the carrots and the broccoli on the side. Like there's 2 strips of carrots and there's 2 sprigs of broccoli on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so she just took that and she shoved it inside a rice ball, and she decided she wanted French fries with it too.
Yeah, why not? You do. It sounds like with me, I go to restaurants like that. They offer mashed potatoes. I'm like, nope. Do you have French fries? Yep. Okay.
Okay. Can you put mashed potatoes on top of the French fries? Because that would be really good. And put that on a bed of hash browns.
Right.
No, I need another bottle of ketchup. Thanks.
Right. And during all these scenes, like I guess Coconutt's not really talking to Paprika much because the fact that she called her Mimi twice and isn't really explaining who she is. So and she's like, why do you keep calling me that? Like, but Paprika's just like, I don't know who that is. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, almost like selective amnesia. You know, it's convenient sometimes, but she's kind of choosing when it's there and when it's not there. But I guess technically it's not her fault. She doesn't remember fully.
Yeah, it's really weird because you think of someone who would be like having a personality like Paprika to where she can't remember a lot of different things like that. You wouldn't think of a character like that being selective with their memory to other people, but they can be.
Right. And maybe it's a certain because if you are connecting the other girl to Coconut because both characters have blue hair, and maybe that's the connection why she keeps thinking that Coconut's the partner that she needs. But in my experience, like anime hair color doesn't play a factor in many shows. Most of them I've seen anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you got gray and white and silver, and that can mean a cool exterior.
Mm-hmm.
You have red or pink as a fiery exterior, and blue is well heeled, somewhere in between, and all that. After that, it's pretty much a crapshoot.
Yeah. Well, that I think like I've never heard anyone in the anime go, "Oh, it's the one with blue hair." I'm like I've never heard them say anything maybe towards like a redhead or a blonde, but that's about it.
It's like, hello, we've got a monstrously huge color palette. Let's start using that, shall we?
Right, and then I guess the Pure Illusion this week is like a huge room. Kind of remind me of the room that they had in like Fate Stay Night. They had a room just like this.
Yeah.
It was like tile ceiling and nothing but white everywhere. It was just
nothing but white everywhere. I call it the vanishing point because right when they first started, you could not see down at where the vanishing point of whatever they were illustrating was coming into it, and it was just empty.
One of the old Batman Dark Knight movies had the same room like this.
Only that had walls. This apparently didn't.
Huge room with like nothing but white lights, and it's just crazy. But yeah, that's what you said. The room is huge, and I guess Paprika sees the jewel and just runs towards it, and Coconut's like, "Don't do that," and all this stuff. But it was weird, and then obviously a trap. I love it all complaining about it. Like every time they go to these places, there's always a trap somewhere.
Yep.
And they get caught into it. It was funny just seeing Coconut get caught with the twins, because the twins are characters that don't do much, but they do. I think they do a lot this week. This episode, I think it's like the episode where they get to show off a little bit more than usual. And then
good fight animation with them.
Right, and then it's Paprika stuck with Yayaka, which is a funny interaction since those two don't really get along. This episode kind of showed that they definitely will butt heads no matter what. They're not going to be friends ever, I don't think.
Yayaka had that corn snack, and she was just teasing her with it. No wonder you got your hand almost eaten off, girl. You don't do that to Paprika. That's silly.
Yeah, that part was funny. They're just fighting each other and just getting to the point where they're exhausted. And she's like trying to chase Paprika down, and she's like, "Stop!" It's like, "No, I can't." I thought it was pretty funny. Like just seeing, like imagine like two superhero and a villain fighting each other. Gets to the point where they're like, okay, time out, 5 minutes, and they just stop and talk to each other for a bit, which is what they did in this episode. They kind of like you said, they popped out a snack and then she tried to bite her. It was just was a whole thing. It was pretty funny.
I loved it. Great animation on that bit too.
Right, and I just like where she's like laying on the ground, pretending like she's knocked out, and like jumps at her. Like,
has those big eyes before she goes in for the kill. They never ever spare giving her as much personality in the animation as possible.
Right, yeah. But this again showed that they just, no matter what, these two are never going to get along. And Coconut being the one that both of them are fighting for the attention of Coconut. And we do get a bit, when she's trapped in the other, I guess, hairball room, we call it. It was funny seeing that, how sneaky the twins were being. They were saying that if you power down, and we'll help you. And as soon as she did, they're like, we didn't really say we would. And kind of like, basically toying with her. I think it's what they're doing. Even to the point where the other girls reading the girl's lips was practically lying about everything. About what the girl was saying.
She wasn't exactly lying, but she was stretching the truth. Yeah. She was being selective about what she was telling Kokona in those specific moments.
Right.
Because she knew that there was an itch that Kokona was really scratching furiously at that point, so she couldn't help but throw more sand on that. So she was just like, oh yeah, they're just talking about food. That's all they're talking about. Nope, not even talking about you. Nope.
Right, exactly. When in reality,
neither one of them cared.
But yeah.
Neither one of them care to talk about you at all. They're not even thinking about you when you get right down to it. That's what they're saying.
A different girl, and then which was, I guess she figured out that the room they were stuck in was tied to her emotional state for a Coconut. So whenever she would react to a certain thing, the room would either change, or so I guess they figured out that her emotions are what's keeping us locked in this room. So then we get a bit where we do see a flashback, a little bit of a. Coconut and Yayaka meeting each other in the hospital when they're younger, and talk about some tests, which made me think these tests. I'm like, to me, I was like, the grandma was acting a little weird too again, but she was only in one little scene. But I was like, what are these tests they're doing? Like, because they're running from these doctors and all the. And it was like by the end of the episode, there's like 9 doctors around these little kids. I'm like, this is a little weird. Like, it's a little extreme for. They didn't really explain what they were getting done either. They didn't say it's a checkup or anything. They just said test. So it made me think, what if he's testing? They were testing, Coconut at the time to be one of the direct drive girls instead of being one of the flip floppers. So I was like, I don't know. That may be a stretch to go that far back.
That's not bad, but it doesn't tell the whole thing. You're right.
Right, it doesn't. It's always kind of open that, because they do reveal that Yayaka, even at that age of, I don't know how old she was at the time, had the task of staying close to Coconut, keeping an eye on her. So obviously that organization had future plans for Coconut somewhere. And they still haven't addressed the whole episode where she got kidnapped by them, episode 1. What happened with that? So we're still kind of up in the air what their plan was with her. Or maybe they just wanted to see how well Yayaka could do like on a first mission or something. I don't know.
Who knows what Direct Drive is up to, or even the floppers are up to when you get right down to it.
Right, yeah, they haven't explained which group is really doing the right thing or not.
Or what, really, when you get right down to it. Right. I mean, when you get right down to it, you kind of like that Salt and the doctor and their assistant, whose name I can't remember at the moment, sorry, they're that ragtag group, so they're automatically, by us kind of almost perceived as the good guys. And then, Direct Drive, I mean, for crying out loud, is not an evil organization, a not good organization when you get right down to it. They got the hoods, they've got the one eye. One eyes are always terrible because it always means we only see what we want to see. We don't see you or anything that's important to you. We only see what's important to us. That's what blue hair, red hair, one eye always means that kind of thing.
Well then you have flip floppers have when they teleport to a different world, it's the 3 eyeballs that pop up for them. The 3 eyes thing for them. So it's It's a little creepy. I mean, I've only seen that used in like Eva, and then it was used in one episode of Regalia. I watched one episode of that. They had that 3 eyeballs thing pop up, and blood was leaking everywhere.
Third eyeball open is the third eye. It's the eye in the center of your forehead. It means your spiritual power has awakened, or different thing like that. So that could mean, but we don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. There's plenty of examples in anime of good guys breaking things that they didn't know they weren't supposed to break.
Right, like, my better example would be like Fullmetal Alchemist. There was one eye in that too, like
Yeah.
at the door that they opened.
Yep.
So it's like, so yeah, definitely the eyes you can kind of try. Oh, hey, look, we might be playing you. So it's kind of hard to trust a group that all wear white hoods. Just saying. But yeah, near the end of the episode, they finally get out of that room, thanks to I guess love, friendship, and all that. I guess. But Yayaka kind of goes against. She's gonna fight Coconut. They're fighting. They get trapped in another room together, and it's all these little flashes of memories together. And I'm guessing that Yayaka just wants to destroy those memories because it's hard for her to fight a friend, because those flashbacks show that they're very close,
It's hard for her to fight a friend. Also, I mentioned the fact that Direct Drive has some sort of goal that she naturally aligns to, or she feels that it's a direct benefit for her to do something with them.
Right.
And so now by shedding herself of those memories or getting rid of those memories once and for all of her youth with Coconut, she can be the better Direct Drive person and all that, which is what she's trying to do.
It reminds me
but
of
right there.
The new Cross series is doing the same thing. There's a character on there that's good friends with somebody, but all those memories are holding her back, she says.
Yep.
So she wants to destroy those memories so she can move on, and like you said, become a stronger person. In reality, it's the opposite. The memories are making her a strong person. She needs those memories,
Mm-hmm.
So, and also the fear of Coconut or Paprika taking away Coconut from Yayaka kind of sets into. There's a bit where they're yelling about like Yayaka yells at Paprika like, I knew her way before you did, and she claims to be a friend.
If she's gonna lose, if Yayaka is gonna lose Coconut, it's gonna be on her terms, not with Paprika taking her away. That's really jealous. Yeah, Yayaka has a stew of emotions. She really is. She's this way and that way.
Yeah. And she takes it all on Paprika. Like there's this scene where she's kicking her, beating her to death. I'm like, jeez, this is probably the most violent she's ever been towards Paprika, and ever since the beginning. Like she's really pissed off right now.
She's never shielded that. She's never shielded that contempt.
Exactly. And then they get to the point at the end where I guess the twins question her again. When is this gonna? When are you gonna do the thing that we told you to do? Even they get to the point where she's gonna take a knife on her friend and cut her leg open to get the jewel from her leg. So it's like she gets to the point where she's about to do it, but I knew a long time she wouldn't do it. But she's still again struggling with the idea of what team does she belong to, with the Flappers or the Direct Drive, or maybe by herself alone, not on any team. Maybe she could. I think she could do that more than join a different group right now. She could just be by herself, solo, for now. But yeah, so the twins just see her not doing it, and they just open fire on her because they're tired of her not obeying orders. So, and she shields Coconut, and then takes quite a few hits. And then she's laying there at the end. So it's like, I don't think she's dead because they played like the opening or the ending song was kind of cheery. Like it would seem kind of weird that she did die.
Yeah.
During that, with the music playing in the background. I was like,
that
seems a little weird.
That may rush her to get her help. I mean, she's definitely in heavy boo-boo territory right now, because that's heroes, especially because she went to that injury a hero. Heroes don't die like that. They just get big boo-boos and come back.
She's doing the Ray from Eva, being seriously hurt or pushed to the point where she almost dies, but she'll be fine with some bandages. The power of anime,
Yep.
So yeah, it definitely, it comes to the end where they bring her to the Flip Flapper home base, like you said. So it is a interesting question: is when she wakes up, is she gonna be the same person, or is she gonna have like temporary amnesia, or is she gonna be in a coma? So it would be interesting to see if that maybe her and Paprika can finally be friends a little bit. We're saying, I don't know.
Maybe the secret is in the preview that Bubu-chan gave us this week.
Mm-hmm.
The robot spoke again. The robot did the preview, and he did it totally in robot speak.
I think one of the twins on Direct Drive was making fun of him. It may have been the boy, because in the episode too, is like a little side note. They were poking the robot, and he was like, "Oh, this is fun. Like this is fun." That poor little robot is getting tortured.
Well, it has a brain in it, so
Right.
that's-
And speaking of the robot, when the girl slammed her fist in the ground and that shockwave hit him, I felt so bad for him. He gets like crushed. I was like, oh man.
it's he is that's his job. His job is to just be a schlemazel, is just to get the crap knocked out of him. That's it.
I did like the
But
part
come
where
back.
he was in the elevator with the girls and they're kind of arguing with each other. And he's just like,
Mhm.
even he's confused why they're mad.
Hmm.
He's just like, I don't know why they're mad.
These weird human emotions, I don't get them.
And then I guess extras would be, we do learn at the very end that Mimi was actually Paprika's partner the whole time. I'm wondering, like, maybe seeing Yayaka in her state of, being rushed to the emergency room, maybe that affected Paprika and she remembered something from the past. Because she does start crying about it, like Mimi was her partner. So it makes you think, when they say was, like, well, does that mean she died?
Yeah,
Intense, was my partner. Like, okay, well, maybe.
And the intensity by which she's like looking around for her and misses her and different things like that, that's just really strange because it's just, I mean, like I said, it's just very intense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's been talking about her, but it's just the way. I just thought it was a weird acting or an interesting acting choice that they had to react in such a way.
Right, and showing you kind of that maybe Paprika depended on this person a lot more than she's letting on. Maybe which makes you think, maybe a mother figure. That if it was her mom, seeing that probably would traumatize someone. If their mom died right in front of them like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, but then also the partner idea too. It's like, I don't know if they haven't really said that you had to be the same age to be a partner with someone. So it would be interesting. I guess I'll explore that a little bit later. And like I said, Boo gave an example of the episode next week, but we don't really understand what he said. I think a good way of doing it. That way you can't reveal anything. So now everyone doesn't know what's going to happen next week. Which would be a good thing. But yeah, anything else in the episode you like from the last episode, episode 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was
Nope,
good.
it was a good episode. It was good to see Yayaka's full character brought to measure. She's definitely interesting, and she's a good balance between the other two. Maybe she's the third eye.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, it was interesting seeing that. And for me, I was like, I never really considered Yayaka to be a bad guy. She was just kind of on the wrong side, I think. So this episode kind of revealed that obviously she won't be going back to the direct drive anytime soon. So yeah,
No.
I think that's it for these episodes. I don't have anything else to say about it. I think again, I think episode 8 was my favorite out of these bunch, just because it's a big Gurren Lagann / mech robot. Which for me, I think I always forget it's not Trigger. Like it's weird when I watch the show. I watch it sometimes and I swear it's them, but then I look up the thing like, oh right, it's not them.
Well, it's definitely not anything. I mean, studios definitely get kind of saddled with a style or a thing that they do and do well. Shaft with shaftiness, JC Staff with kind of middle of the road sort of entertaining shows, but nothing really spectacular crazy. Trigger definitely gets high marks. Along with things like Madhouse and Bones for having Wild Sakuga out there in different places along those lines. But this is nothing that you would probably think that Studio 3HZ would do, who has just 2 other shows to their credit.
And a lot of the episodes are done by different studios. While I was reading, I think
different groups.
Yeah, different groups. Was more likely. Because episode 9 was done by half the team from Rolling Girls, which is a visual show about fighting and girls using powers and stuff like that. So if they didn't really do the artwork and storyline, it felt very similar to something that they would do.
No. Yeah, you have enough lead time on things like that. Whole line directors, whole show directors,
Right.
they can get things broken down episode by episode to have it. It's like, look, we want it to have this look and this feel. So can you get this person, that person, and that person? Oh yeah, we can do that. And so they get it all together and all that. It probably takes a a tremendous amount of production ability to be able to do that. But man, if you could do it, it gives the entire proceedings some a whole bunch of lift, doesn't it? Because it makes it look so good.
Right, and if you go to the Animated News Network, they have the list of like all the studios that are involved in a certain episodes.
Oh yeah.
So like you get some people from like PA Works do some of the episodes, which if it's a colorful background, it's probably one of their studios or one of their artists doing it. Which is kind of interesting, just seeing that collaboration between all these different studios.
Which may lend credence to my theory of Pure Illusion being a shattered reality.
Right, which being from the guy who made Space Dandy, it would work for this show too. Being that some episodes are connected to others, some of them are not.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I think that's it for these episodes. I'll try to do maybe one episode next week, but you never know what happens. So.
Sure, let's try that. Let's try that.
Right. So I guess talk to you guys next time for more Flip Floppers.
Later on, folks.